I mean, sure, yeah, Marvel's Eternals has all the buzz right now, but that wasn't always the case. When it comes to Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige, they were internally developing this project as early as 2009, and even had completed scripts as they were looking at a potential Eternals film for late Phase 1 or even early Phase 2. So imagine how different the MCU would be right now if that was the case. So one way we've been able to figure out recently about what was going on at Marvel Studios, specifically with projects that were in development very early on, was of course the Marvel Studios book, but also the details were sort of, I guess, in the devil, right? If you look back at the history of Marvel, specifically those animated motion comic films and animated series Marvel Entertainment was trying to get off the ground, and the Eternals was a motion comic thing that they put out. And as we recently learned, when it came to the early Phase 1 development, Marvel Studios was already working hard on trying to expand the cosmic side of Marvel. And as the book recently revealed, the story of Marvel Studios, that they saw a lot of potential in Eternals very early on. The unique concepts, the ideas, the characters, the universe that they exist in, and I don't mean obviously the Marvel universe, I mean like the bigger universe and how far reaching it is. And what the book reveals is that if you look back on how far Marvel Studios has come, it's quite obvious that the old version of Eternals that the script was completed for in 2009 was a completely different film. And they don't spill all the details on what exactly was different about it, but they do reveal that this thing was built in that time. It was a product of the time. So, if you look back at 2008 to 2010, you realize that the MCU had a different style than it does today. And I think it's safe to say that they were probably a lot more reserved in that regard. Like, I don't think you would have seen Celestials or something like that. And certainly there wouldn't have been budget to make something like that a reality, considering they were still literally getting by on borrowed money. One misstep would have literally doomed the MCU forever. So Eternals being one of these things that was in development early on, but they never really cracked the code on it, as they say, is really not shocking. But it all makes sense now in terms of where it's placed now, because it's Marvel, right? You can put whatever on the screen and people will watch it because it's a trusted brand. I honestly don't think that would have been the case back then, which is obviously why they went so safe with, well, if we don't have the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man, who do we got? The B-level characters that some people know of. Iron Man, Black Widow, do something with them. So it all turned out good in the end.